I'm on, and welcome back to Don't Tick the Box. Right on time for its regular scheduled last Tuesday of the month upload, we got July's Upcrate box. Let's not waste any more time and get right to it. As always, I'd like you to have the first few, so okay, that's not saying a lot. First of all, the envelope with the supplies list. And some extra goodies. The supplies list I will put aside so as not to be spoiled. We get a postcard. This month's battle theme, mythical, magical fantasy, right up my alley. And some extra stickers. Officially art supplies addicted. There's actually nothing that describes me better than that. Let's put this aside. A big pack. I'll just cut it open carefully. Watercolors. For those of you who didn't see my February unboxing, in which I also did get watercolors, I really love watercolors, especially in tubes, so I'm really excited. But other than watercolors, we also get a Graphite HB pencil, pretty standard. A fancy looking brush. It's kind of big actually. And from a brand that I do not know, Linear in a size 8. Size 8 is actually perfect. I prefer for my round pencils, I prefer a size 8 or a size 6, but 8 is actually perfect. And before I get to the colors, we have one last thing. Ooh! It's a sponge in a pot. I guess to take along and clean your pencil on the go, or maybe to paint with. I will see what the supplies list mentions. Okay, so it's officially called a sponge can, and they come in a lot of colors, and I got a green, which is good. Pink would have been better. They also have a pink. But the other colors are not as pretty, so I'm very happy with the green one. Oh, so they do intend it for spreading colors on pictures, dabbing, don't know what, and cleaning brushes. So basically whatever you feel like. Right, let's get on with the colors. First of all, we get one bigger tube in emerald. Oh, and they are Winsor&Newton Cotman watercolors, which I really like. I have some Winsor&Newton colors already, and they perform quite well, so this is really cool. I hope I don't get any... I hope I don't get any doubles, but Since I do tend to use a lot of watercolors, they will definitely not go to waste. So the colors that we got are Permanent Rose, love it. Intense Green, also love it. Turquoise, love it. Purple Lake, not a big favorite. And Cobalt Blue Hue. Actually, isn't this neat? Lovely, 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 lovely colors. And you will see them in action very soon, as I will definitely swatch these. But first, let's get these out of the way. The last thing, or maybe the almost last thing. Oh, first of all, we get this month's artwork. It's really pretty, by an artist called Snow's Art, which I will read more about later. Some paper, presumably watercolor paper, but it feels a little smoother than I'm used to. And then a promotion code for the company that makes the brushes, and then a leaflet with Cotman's watercolors. Let's get swatchy. And they really, really are absolutely lovely. I'm already completely smitten with this green, the intense green. It really is intense. And the cobalt blue hue is also really pretty. Even the turquoise, which I'm not usually a fan of, is really lovely. So let's see what we can come up with and make a little drawing. Some final thoughts. Obviously a little biased because not only is this a medium that I absolutely love, it's also a brand that I know and love, but I'm really impressed. Specifically with the paper, it's by a company SMLT that I hadn't heard of before, but it handled really well. According to the supplies list, the paper's 280 GSM, which is a little lighter than most watercolor paper, but it handled really, really, really well. It was very easy to reactivate and lift the paint off the paper, which is the biggest struggle that I have, especially when the watercolor paper is of not a great quality. But this paper handled it really, really well. Also, the colors that we got, I actually checked, and apparently I already have an emerald and a permanent rose, but the other colors are new for me, and I really, really, really like them. Even though the supplies list advises to put on several layers to get them at their full brilliancy and full, how shall I put it, full capacity, I found that it really doesn't need a lot of paint to get very vibrant, brilliant colors. I didn't use a sponge because I didn't really know how to find a use for it in this piece. Oh, and about the pencil. Actually, I have two more things to say. About the pencil, I found it a little scratchier than regular HB, but also a little lighter, so I didn't actually bother to erase the outlines of the things that I find I actually painted, because even though watercolors are somewhat transparent, I found that I could layer over the pencil quite well, and the pencil strokes aren't actually very visible. And lastly, the brush. I love it. It's also by a company that I hadn't heard of before, but I'm really, really impressed. Of course, I already mentioned it's my favorite size for a round brush, size 8, which is perfect for laying down somewhat bigger washes, but still having a point that is fine enough to get some detailed work in. As you can see, it's not a very elaborate piece, but I tried to use several watercolor techniques, and I found out that that actually it all worked quite well. So very, 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 very happy. And if you would in the future consider watercolors, I'd say give it a shot. But for now, it's goodbye. Bye.